Okay, good. I think we're live. I'm gonna keep the bot off for now. The text to speech and the oh good, there we go, and the live stream's ping. Heck yeah. I'm gonna keep the text to speech and the ping bot off for chat as I get through this review. So, Delux M900 V2. If I'm being totally honest, I have not had a ton of time on this mouse. I used it all day at work today, and that's it. Haven't really gamed with it. But there's not much information online, and I don't have a ton of time to do these reviews, so I gotta do them when I can. I have two mice here. This is the M900 Pro, I think. This is the M900 V2. They are the V2 or whatever is actually a significant upgrade. So, first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about both of them. This is obviously modded. My weight reduction video, like my battery swap how-to guide, features this mouse. I forget what it started out at, but you can see my small little like 125 milliamp hour battery in the back there, and then I also did some base sanding, yada yada. Point is, this is a worthy upgrade. So, let's talk about the mouse. It's a large ergo, similar to like a Death Adder V3, if you will, in size, somewhat in shape too. We'll get into that first. I want to first talk about the differences between the V2 and the non-V2. So, the V2 is the only one that comes in this metallic red colorway. This was some special Year of the Dragon, this nice red. You can see it has a nice coating to it because look at the color difference in the bottom. The bottom's almost pinkish, while the rest of this has a very nice coating to it. The other telltale sign is the DPI light. The V2 does not get one because it's lighter weight. And the scroll wheel is another way to tell the two apart. I believe the non-V2 is something like a 63 gram weight, while the V2 drops down to a roughly, I want to say it was 50 grams on my scale. I think it's advertised at 48 because you know how China do. Obviously, they changed the skate design to, oh, look at that, 50.00 even without the door, and with the door, there you go. Whereas this guy, which has been modded heavily, so huge grain of salt. I don't even know where's the dongle in there? No, I don't even know where my dongle is. But that's after being heavily modded, so we'll see what it really ends up. I believe it was around 63. Why don't we talk first about specs? So, these are both using a 3395, though the V2 gets updated to a Nordic MCU, while the older one uses, I believe, it's a Beacon MCU. I get worse battery life with this, but more importantly, I get wireless interference with this guy at work. This one, using it at least one day at work, I experienced absolutely nothing. It felt very snappy, very responsive. I'm very pleased with this. Oh, also, I guess you get your DPI light is here now on the V2. Switches. I don't know what the original one was using, but this guy was using, the V2 was using Huano 100 millions, I believe is what it's called out. So those are green shell white dots, I think. What else am I missing here? Specs, sensor, MCU. Yeah, let's get into shape comparison. Or no, we'll do the unboxing first. So, I think we're going to put away the V1 for now, and we're going to go into the unboxing. So I did just open this up like just a couple days ago. Yeah, they call it the Delux M900 V Pro Plus V2. I don't know what Pro Plus means. Perhaps it's like a battery version, but I know the original is simply called the M900 Pro. So inside of the box here, we've got what? Grip tape. It looks like that. Yeah, this looks kind of like plasticky cheap grip tape. Okay. We get a data card. Shows you wired versus wireless mode, some QR codes, anything good here. It does look like you can get an aftermarket 4K dongle with this. I did not get one, I just got the nano receiver. And then we get no extra skates. Yep, no extra skates. USB receiver changer adapter thing. And a cable that is mid. Feels cheap. It's not super soft. It's not super stiff. Do people care about cables anymore? Okay. Was there anything else on this card? Hazardous substances. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, Delux does sell here in the US. I don't know if the M900 Pro is widely available. The V2 is widely available in the US quite yet. I got mine from AliExpress. I paid, I think, $41.32 from Cat3C store on AliExpress. I don't know. This isn't a... Their listing's kind of messed up. They don't really talk about the V2 enough, but it was like one of the lower prices on the V2, so that's what I went with. Okay, let's talk about the shape. So the Delux M900, you guys can check it on Elo Shapes. It's kind of hard to compare ergos back to back because of the asymmetricalness of their shapes, but these guys are very similar in size, the Viper V3, Death Adder V3 Pro, and the Delux. Here's another sort of size comparison here. This is the M900 Mini, which is also an excellent mouse. You can see they share some similarities in kind of aesthetic and skate design. They feel quite different though, I'll get into that. Here's it versus an MCHO's A7 Re, which is like a Dex clone. These are quite different ergos. The Dex is actually it was actually a refreshing change from Logitech. So let's talk Death Adder first. The shape of the M900, it is incredibly flat on the right side here. That is one of the things you will notice the absolute most. Let me boost up the brightness here for you guys. Just how flat it is along here. You do have this swooping curve. It's not very aggressive, but during the whole way, it stays pretty much straight up and down vertical. Compare that to something like the Death Adder here, where you do have a little bit of inward angle. You can see my toothbrush is going inward a little bit. By the way, how was sound? I did not do a sound check before this, so feel free to yell at me if I'm doing something bad. The right side of the mouse, compare it to the Death Adder. I know I got grip tape on here. So one thing that I like over the Death Adder is the Death Adder has a really deep base here. So if you put your fingers close to the mouse pad, you will be grabbing that. Maybe some people like that. Maybe some don't. If you have a more relaxed grip where you keep your fingers up higher, it's no problem. The Delux definitely comes down farther towards the mouse pad, and I like that. Otherwise, the side curvature here, they're actually pretty similar on the right side. Yes, they are pretty similar. I would say the Delux has a little bit more straight verticalness. This is a little bit more straight vertical. The Death Adder, I think, stays a little bit more sloped outward, which is perhaps more comfortable if you do a tilt grip, like a Deal Scream. But if you grip a little bit farther forward, I think you might like the M900 more. Hump profile, they're both somewhat mid-hump. I don't know if it's just the taller side buttons. I feel like the M900... The Death Adder's hump... Yeah, no, these both feel pretty similar. I think the Death Adder's hump feels a little bit more pointed. Oh yeah, you can see that a little bit. The Death Adder's slightly more pointed when looking at the rear, but when looking at the front, yeah, you can tell it's a little bit higher here on the Death Adder, right where whatever this part of your hand would land. A little bit lower on the Delux. And button height is another. Button height and button feel is something that the Delux, I think, is not quite very refined. It's a pretty symmetrical button height on the Delux. And on top of that, the buttons they don't have a lot of comfort groove in them, so they feel rather flat. Specs Fearless, you can rewind in the live stream, but it's a 3395 Nordic 52 833 or 840? It's Nordic though. Huada 100 million mechanicals. And they advertise a 48 gram weight. I'm getting about 50 grams with the skates on. Dongle doors like 0.3 grams. So the flat feeling buttons, I don't know. I feel like I aim well with that. I feel like I was clicking precisely at work with it. But it is a little bit weird to have such an ergonomic mouse that then has a very flat right side, left side, and very flat buttons. The Death Adder, I think, feels a little bit more refined, if you will. Let's compare it to the M900 Mini. The M900 Mini really is a different shape. Like, it looks like an ergo. It feels almost like an ambi just because it's so flat on the right and on the left. And it's just kind of wide. It just feels like, honestly, it feels like a mid-hump X2. You could definitely get away with calling it that. Yeah, the M900 V2, the full size, is more curvy. It's more filling in the hand. I don't know what else to say. They're very different mice. It might be called M900 Mini, but it is very different. It feels smaller in every dimension, especially length and height and width. Okay, yep, every dimension. Let's go on to the Dex, or the A7 Re. So the A7, something unique about the Dex is that it has a lot of hip flare on the thumb area, but then it feels more like an ambi once you get to this area, because you're very, very flat right and left, and you do swoop in on the right side here. So this is not how the M900 feels. The M900 will feel much more like a Death Adder. If you love a Death Adder, but maybe you're looking for something a little bit different, maybe something a little bit lighter, I guess you could try this. It is not a Death Adder clone. Let's be clear about that. Also, shout out that they made the USB receptacle actually like compatible with a lot of different cables, and not this stupid thing where you have to use like a really thin cable. All right, let's talk general build quality. I can actuate the side buttons here. I do have some flexing going on. It's not terrible, especially given how just massive. There's just room for days for your thumb here. When you move up towards the front, no flexing here. This is actually very solid. Towards the back, nothing. This is often a weak spot on mice. This feels fine here. How about hump? Oh, hump is rock solid. Hump is rock solid, that is for sure. And this side of the mouse also feels good. Perhaps a little, yeah, I really got to goose it there. I can see the bottom is actually bowing out as I'm flexing that there. Buttons do have some wobble. The buttons don't feel the highest quality on this, I'm gonna be honest there. Yeah, no rattles. Scroll wheel feels tight. Base is flexy. That's probably the most flexible part of the mouse, but that's generally the part that I care the least about. Let's talk shape. We did weight and balance. Yeah, so we already took a look at the scale. It was 50 grams even with the dongle door off. I guess we somehow vaporized 0.07 grams. And there's the dongle door weight. The balancing, I would say, is... yeah, right about there. Smack dab in line with the sensor. Very nice. So that puts it about... I was going a little about right here on the mouse. Yeah, right, left. I know aim adapt picks it up like this. Is it side heavy? It might be ever so slightly heavy towards the left. But that probably makes sense because that's where your thumb is, so that's where you have a stronger digit. M1, M2. So these Huano switches are one of my favorites. I do like a good Huano green shell white dot. They feel kind of dull if I'm being honest. Here's a little bit of a sound test here. A little bit of hollowness if you really smack it. On the upstroke, they're probably using foam because I'm not hearing any noises letting it thwap upward. They just don't have a lot of travel, unfortunately. It feels like if you click farther down, they feel quite nice. Perhaps a little bit on the hollow side. But then when you click up higher, which is honestly like where I click, because I click sort of in line with where the scroll wheel is, they start to lose travel distance, which makes them a little bit harder to spam because you have to be a little bit more accurate with how you move your fingers. And the side wobble, I think we talked about a little bit before. It's not great. That's one of the weaker parts of this mouse. This is kind of how it feels to like have a deluxe mouse. It'll like nail certain things, but then there will be like reminders of, oh yeah, that's right, this is a $40 mouse. Again, I paid I think $41, but before Rakuten. I think after Rakuten, I think I got like 20 or 30% Rakuten. So probably a good chunk off of this, closer to $30. Next thing is the side buttons. The side buttons on this are just fine. They are not my favorite. I think other ergos, do it much better. The M900 Mini, they are more solid, though they have like a whack ton of teetering. It's nothing that bothers me. Well, the M900 V2, a little bit less teetering, but they also still feel kind of cheap. They're also not located in the best spot. They put them rather high up. I think something like what the Death Adder did. See how more space there is above the side buttons on the Death Adder? They also chose to round off the edges here, which I don't know. I actually think I prefer having that jut out because then you can feel it more easily. The side buttons are not coated. They're partially glossy. One trick you can do if side buttons don't protrude enough, grab the grip tape and put the grip tape bits on. What else did we have here? As far as like tactility, I didn't really talk about. They're fine. They sound hollow. The back button, I think, on your side buttons, you generally want a little bit of pre and post travel because it'll help prevent accidental actuations. The front one, I think, does not have enough pre-travel, so it's very light to the touch. It's very easy to actuate. I'm actuating it here. Back button feels a bit better, but they are both pretty light. If I had to guess, I think they're going to be using the Mini Micro 2-pin nano switches. Coding. Okay, guys, the coding is actually what has me using this so much at work today. The coding, it's actually really good. Let me go grab some other metallic mice so that I know I'm not just tripping here. I have yet to be blown away by a metallic coated mouse. Oh, I already know what it's like. Here we go. Metallic red, boys. Here we are. So the Owlet SC900 GPX Dex clone, I swapped in Armor Opticals. Oh, apparently I have it on. No, that was just the light. This is a fun little mouse. Swappable batteries, but it's not your best Dex clone. A7 Re is definitely better. This guy has a coating to him that's like almost like silicone. It feels slippery. It's quite bizarre. And other Owlet stuff, Daz has the V9 reviews coming out. He's probably going to complain about the coating too. It's like once you get your hands wet at all, it feels slick, like snot or something. It doesn't feel, it's like a rubberization, but like a silicone rubberization. It's not great. The ATK X1 Ultimate, this coating feels more just, not like a rubbery coating or anything. It feels more just like, I don't know, a painted mouse. So like a slight glossiness. It's not, again, it's not like a rubbery coating. You can still tell it's coated. It's not just absolutely plain plastic, but it's not rubbery. Where you start getting rubbery is, I would say, the M-Chose A7 Re, and you can actually see, I wouldn't be surprised if these are like the same exact coating. They're very similar in color, perhaps A7 Re, the K7 Ultra, where they have like a little bit of a purple shift, but they also have this like, can you guys see how it turns kind of pale? Almost, it looks like it's all greased up. I wonder if my... No, that's not going to make it any better. If you guys have a metallic finished mouse, you'll know what I'm talking about, where they get like a clear coat sheen to them. It's really obvious on both the K7 Ultra and the M900 Pro Plus. It is a more rubbery feeling coating. It's very good for both dry and wet hands. Yeah, these feel the same. So the coating TLDR is very good. Compared to the Death Adder V3 Faker, it's like a thin kind of Wise Owl-like coating. It's good. The Delux M900 Mini is also a very good coating. I would say, again, like that kind of Wise Owl cloud level, which is, again, the same, like, look at the two colors of these. These are exactly the same coating. other than this just seems to be like the same thing, but perhaps thicker in feeling, like a thicker film feeling. Gotta remember where everything goes back, huh? I'm getting even more mouse cubbies upcoming here. So, next thing, let's talk about the scroll and middle mouse. Scroll and middle mouse are good on this. They did good. This is, again, one of the stronger points of the mouse. Tactility is like a solid 7, I would say 8 out of 10 tactility, while still remaining pretty quiet. They advertise the TTC Gold dust-proof encoder. We'll take a look at that. And the wheel, I think what helps it is that it's a smaller wheel. By the way, that's another way you can tell the M900 V2 and non-V2 apart, is the wheel. The wheels are ever so slightly different if my camera feels like focusing. Gosh, I can't. There we go. Yep. The texture on both of them is fine. Actually, that's weird. The original M900, it protrudes up higher. Yeah, that's my only complaint about the scroll wheel on this, is that it doesn't protrude up high enough. Middle mouse is very spammable. I think they're using a full-size micro switch in there, so that's good. And the rubberiness on the scroll wheel, it feels plush, thick. You can definitely sink your thumb and your fingernail into it. Performance felt fine at work. I have not really gamed with it. I go to Pizogle for full-length reviews, that kind of stuff. But I usually have issues with wireless interference, which I did at work with the M900 V1 instantly. The V2, nothing in at least 1 8-hour workday. And skates. Skates are another weird one from Delux. They are using skates unlike anyone else in the industry. That's not necessarily a good thing. They are a very thin skate. They're nicely rounded, and they're decently quick, but they're very thin. They're like almost semi-transparent, almost like a bluish hue to them. And if you have an M900 Mini or a... what's their other one here? Here we go. The M800 Mini. Then you'll be familiar with how these skates feel. Yeah, the coating on the M800, I don't know if this is just me. It feels better than the M800. I'm sorry, the M900 feels better than the M800. I don't know. Yeah, this mouse is fantastic, but I do have wireless interference problems at work with this guy. All right. So I think now is the time where I begin the disassembly. I'll turn on my chat bots, and you guys can do a Q&A. Are there any questions you guys might have, or shapes you would want me to compare? I also have like an ATK Z1 I could compare it to. WR mouse Thorn, or sorry, a Sword. I could do a AMZ Thorn. Let me just go ahead and log into my platforms, YouTube, broadcaster account, sign in. Man, Phalanges is connected. Okay, so now I should be getting pings. Why don't we get into the disassembly? I'm going to do a battery swap, and we're going to do a switch swap. And we'll get photos for Reddit, as we always do. I'm kind of bummed. The dongle on this one is just like a boring red or black Deluxe. The M900 V1 got a nice little red one. How is the coating between the metallic and the ATK duckbill metallic purple? Yeah, the duckbill, it's how ATK does their metallics. They're all pretty much the same. They're not like a very rubberized feeling plastic. The duckbill, it's just like, it feels more like a painted plastic. The duckbill is very smooth. It has a little bit of that orange peel look to it. Like if you've ever spray painted something and it leaves kind of a marbling honeycomb. Oh, look at the paint job on the... I never realized that if that focuses. Yeah, they missed like some of the painting in there. Anyway, you see this texturing? This is called orange peel, not from like, it doesn't peel, it doesn't look orange, but from the skin of an orange has that kind of wrinkled skin-like texture. Yeah, that's characteristic of things that are sprayed on. So both of these have that, but I mean, M900 feels like thicker. The film thickness feels thicker, so it feels more rubbery, while the ATK duckbill feels more smooth to me. I don't know, the duckbills is still actually pretty good. Yeah, duckbill's weird, man. Can't believe that thing's $130. Do people actually pay that? Once I have this thing disassembled, though, you guys will have to hold your peace for the the shape comparisons. Now's the time to ask them. Yeah, so these skates, again, they're like... If they were just, like, thicker, they'd be good. They have, like, very visible skiving marks, too. Yeah. Oops. 0.71 on the one skate. Unpopular opinion, I like that they have dongle storage. That's actually like a selling point to me. Oh shit. I delaminated it. They are rounded a little bit. The edge rounding is like pretty small. I don't know. These skates, to sum it up, they're like a perfectly fine skate, but you can tell it was like they went with a cheaper skate. They just feel cheaper. Like they're still using this white substrate that's supposed to help with rigidity or something. I don't know. But boy, is it thin. It's like paper thin. I need to get a stock weight photo also. You guys see the Mel Geek Horus? I don't know how you say that. It's a Greek word, right? But that information on Mouse Review today. And they had this like whole ass presentation for it. Pretty interesting. Yo, Schwamper. Hey there. Good to see you, Schwamper. Oh, wait. I should leave the skates on here, and we should get a weight overall with the dongle door. There we go. A real weight. I gotta kind of get the angle here right for picture reasons. So I'm gonna talk about this on Mousecast this week, but I got guess what company reached out to me? I got a random email from a major mouse manufacturer that they're looking to collab for like a review, that is, not like any sort of special colorway or anything. But guess what mouse manufacturer it is? I'll give you a virtual high five if you guess it. By the way, there's their 48 gram weight that they advertise. No skates, no dongle door. Boom, 48 grams. Easy. I guess I should weigh the center skate, but who cares? But if you guys can guess it, I will give you a virtual high five because that's the best thing I can offer right now. But it is not, it's obviously not a Logitech or Razer, but it is big. So it was very unexpected. The thing is, I don't know if I'm going to take them up on it because what they want is they want an Amazon page video. What does that mean to you guys? When I hear that, I don't think... I asked for clarification. We'll see. They're probably waking up around now. Maybe I'm giving enough hints here. I don't know what time is it in South Korea right now. And hopefully they'll respond. But Amazon page video? So this ain't no product review video. Pulsar, very good, Schromper. You get a virtual high five. Boom. There you go. Oh, sorry, were you not ready for that? Here, we'll go again. Ready? 1, 2. Boom. I'm so lame. I'm sorry, guys. So this means a video that's going to be on the Amazon page. I don't know how I feel about that, guys. My content ain't that good. Are you kidding? I got it, says Schwamper. Oh, good. Good. You know, Delux, you could reduce by 0.1 grams if you only had 4 screws instead of 5. Alright, let's see if I can break this mouse in half. Sorry, I know it's off camera, but I'm also trying to not die. Yeah, dude, this is like probably the best metallic coating I felt. Like, it's good. Why is I feel so goobered? This thing is tight though. I cannot get that bish apart. Hello, I just bought the same mouse but the M900 Pro Mini Pro version. Yeah, okay, it's not the same mouse. Back up in this video, they are definitely different mice, but you bought, well, did you see, I don't know if the coins I don't think are universal. There's an M900 Mini Pro right now with $33.95 for like $32 for the black 230 milliamp hour version. But get this, 35% off with coins. So you can get it for like, after coupons and coins, you'll get it for like 20 bucks. That's insane. And this is actually a really good mouse. Really good coating. Not the best skates, but at least they're big. Actually has an on-off button, unlike the stupid press and hold that people are doing. The mechanicals in it were like nicely tensioned. I switched from Armor Opticals and they feel great. Really good coating, like an A-tier coating. You can even see how the buttons are more pinkish in color? Yeah, they're uncoated, and then the rest of the mouse is coated. By the way, I know people complain about my focusing camera, but it will improve once Xfinity figures their crap out. I wonder if this is the same PCB. This looks awfully similar. Looks like we have a 300 milliamp hour battery, so there's not going to be a ton of weight reduction here. Anyway, M900 Mini is a really slept on mouse. It is a really slept on mouse. Like, I might use mine at work tomorrow just because we're talking about it now. So, like I said, we got Huano green shell white dots. These are their 100 million. We got a nice little scroll wheel that helps it feel more tactile when you have a smaller wheel. Pretty small, a well-optimized PCB. That's good to see. Let's take the battery out. Look at the cable to this battery. Damn, I was going to be like, oh, this is only going to be like a 5 gram battery. Nah, dude. That cable there, and that's thick. This is going to be... Okay, let's guess, chat. How heavy do we think the battery is? I'm going to say... 6.66 grams. Ah, 6.87. And pinout, it's a weird pinout. We got thermistor red black TRB. I believe Delux is like the only one who does that. JST 1.25 millimeter connector. I've been recommending on an X all the time. Would have been a candidate for Chop Mad tiny PCB. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Let's take out the scroll wheel. Oh wait, I'm supposed to get a picture of the battery. Whoops-a-daisy. And I know this one's using a Nordic MCU, and the old one was not. I thought it was using a Beacon. That's what Delux traditionally used. And we are indeed Nordic 52840. Right on, dude. We got middle mouse button is a 4mm riser variant. Maybe even taller. It is using a true micro switch just like I thought, and it feels quite nice. It's a good switch that they're using. Encoder is a TTC gold dustproof 13mm height. All these photos will be posted to r/mouse review. It'll be called Delux M900 Pro V2 Disassembly plus battery swap. It's kind of the, if any of you guys follow me on Reddit, that's kind of the formula I follow. It's about searchability, you know? If you just search the mouse name and then disassembly, if I've done it, if I've posted it to Reddit, that's the best way to... Google does a good job, like, taking search results from Reddit. Reddit really has become, like, such a good wealth of subjective information. Subjective information, that is, you know? It's not, like, the best place for super objective stuff, because it's a forum at the end of the day. But, like, a forum that is like morphed with social media. 8.45 grams on the base is pretty impressive given how big the mouse is. Scroll wheel is going to be pretty light. I'm going to guess like 1.67. Ooh, that's a light scroll. It's because it's small. They cheated. PCBA is also going to be pretty light. The big encoder is going to add some weight. But, oh, I forgot the, whoops. Yeah, I'm going to say like 8.89. Ooh, I was close. I was really close, huh? We can take a look at the bottom. We do have solder holes for 5-pin opticals, which is interesting. Delux has been doing that for a long time, but weirdly, some of their mice work with opticals and others don't. So your mileage may vary. I do try to document when I can, if it does work with opticals. Which is what we're going to do now. And yep, like I thought, the side button PCB is in fact using, I'll get a better picture of this, but it is in fact using 90-degree angled 2-pin mini micro connectors. Nano buttons? I don't know. What's smaller than a micro button? A nano button? Yeah, sure, that's good enough. We do have foam on the upstroke, just like I thought. Not so much on the downstroke. Some foam on the scroll wheel too. Yeah, the buttons are just a little cheap feeling on this. They should have done something to help prevent wobble, excessive wobble. Wobble, baby, wobble. The battery hold down thing we'll take out too. Yeah, so I don't know why I bought this. It was because it was Rakuten 30% cash back, and I was like, oh, I should probably take advantage of it somehow. So I'm going to try to sell my M900 V1, even though it's modded to hell. I'm gonna get like $10 for it, but I never use it because I have wireless interference problems, so I just don't trust it. Why don't we do some soldering next? Battery or switches? Let's do switches first. I'll put this here so you guys have like something to look at. Sure. I don't know. There you guys go. Is my desk set up too messy? Am I homeless and I need a Sony camera? That's an inside joke reference that only people who... Oh, you bonked my leg as you jumped down, doggy. Oh, do you want space under there? Okay. My doggy moved. Here. Do you guys want to see me or the dog? Depending on the audience, some people would prefer to see the dog, and that's understandable. Right, pup? Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Alright, so we're going to desolder left mouse first, and we're going to try an Omron optical in it. Isn't that a British thing that they say? In it. So speaking of hot things like the soldering iron, my friggin' dog greeted my wife in her car when she got home in the garage. And I think my dog licked her rear brake calipers, which is really scary because, bro, brake calipers are friggin' hot. Like, if you splash water on them, they instantly sizzle like a hot pan on the stove. On the range. Isn't that weird? I remember in architecture classes, it was always called a range. Not like a stovetop. An electric range, a gas range. Why is it called a range? What a dumb English word. Do you guys, anyone else in other parts of the world other than the USA call it something better? Like, why is it called range? What's it ranging? What? That always irked me. I just always... And like, what's a stove? Isn't a stove... What's the difference between a stove and a range? Does arrange mean it has a hood? I'm sorry, you guys are like into my shower thoughts territory now. So something that was been, oh wait, okay, that's an old message. So speaking of shower thoughts, something that's been on my mind is I'm like currently applying to some jobs. Oh good, that did take. Oh, she moved. And yeah, I applied to a job at Amazon, an engineering job at Amazon. And it's actually pretty exciting. I did hear back today, but I don't think I'm gonna. I heard back today they were wondering if I would be interested in moving forward with a first interview, right? You submit your resume, they probably have AI that scrapes it, and yeah, but they want to set up the first interview, but the thing is the compensation is like, okay. The problem was it was 80% travel, upwards of 80% travel, they said. 80. And they listed a bunch of major cities. I presumably, like, it was like an operations engineer, so like you're going there and figuring out ways to make the buildings and shipping logistics and all that stuff more efficient. That one feels lovely. We'll try that one first. How far would it be though? Oh, sorry, when I say travel, I mean this is domestic US travel. Hello, says Guido Zanocochia. Guido Zanocochia. Wow. That's quite a name, Guido. Yeah, it was gonna be, so I mean it's all domestic travel, but man, I mean I got a kid on the way, like, and even then, oh my gosh, being away from home for a long time is such a pain in the butt, because you don't realize it until you get back home that all those obligations you've had, like, you know, if you're a homeowner and I don't know, you gotta cut the lawn or something. If you're gone for 3 weeks, they were saying that travel would be upwards. Oh wait, I should make an icicle just in case. They were saying travel would be upwards of 3 weeks at a time. If you're gone for 3 weeks, that means 3 weeks worth of house stuff doesn't get done. So this can be in the form of like, I don't know, just like don't touch anything in your house for 3 weeks and like, but like still have your, you know, somebody living there, because my wife, and then like the grass grows, you know, things break. My point is, being away from home is tough for a variety of reasons. Not even talking like the mental toll of like, when you're out at a job site, you end up working a ton because you kind of have nothing else. Maybe some people like that, but I don't know. I feel like, oh shoot, that like soldered sideways? Brother, what? Dang, I thought I got that down solid. Son of a gun. Yeah, I don't think there's coming back from that. Dang. I had it nice and tight, and then I guess I borked it right at the last second. Yeah, I don't know. Working for Amazon, so I posted something about it in the Discord, and a bunch of people chimed in. Mostly people from like the software development side of things, which that's something interesting. Is so I know Daz told me he's heard bad things about software developers at Amazon. I'm not a software engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, and the position was an operations engineer. But I thought, see, in the mechanical engineering world, you make more money at the bigger the company, the more money you'll make. But Daz was saying with software development, you know, there's people who get a job at Amazon regardless of pay or anything, just so they can have it on their resume that they've worked at Amazon as a tech company, so then they can go to, you know, some other tech type place and have a killer resume. So because of that, Amazon doesn't actually like pay the best for their software developers, he said, because they don't have to, because people go to the name. It's just funny because mechanical engineering has been like the opposite from my limited experience. Okay. We're going to try... Alright, we got it in. We're going to try Armor Optical and a Delux M900 V2. Here we go. Oh, did it change? Oh, man. The music changed. Oh, boy. I hope that doesn't get copyright striked. Oh. Yeah. Okay. It works! Opticals work. No way. Maybe. Hang on. I might have that middle pin might be touching it and making contact. Let's bend that out of the way. I don't know if you guys can see that here. Look at how it still wants to focus on the back, dude. Yeah, see that pinhole right in the middle that's not soldered? Yeah, I don't want that. That's the mechanical pin. So I don't want to use that one. Let's try this again. No, she still works. Okay. Optical switches work in the Delux M900 V2. We still hear no strike yet. No. It would be a copyright claim. It wouldn't be a strike. It would be a copyright claim. So my normal disassembly live streams I don't monetize, but these review style ones I do think I'll monetize. Well, you guys are watching it live. I don't think there's going to be ads. At least I don't monetize it when it's live. But when I go and I do timestamps, I do enable. Wait, what am I doing here? I do enable ads. There's like something interesting is there's ad frequency as an option in YouTube, low, medium, and high. Fun fact, I only ever do low. I don't know if I should do higher. Maybe I should do higher. I don't know. I sometimes watch like, was it Veritasium? Somebody who did long form content who I watched recently. It was brutal. It was, I want to say like a 20 or 30 minute video and there were ads like every 2 minutes. It was so bad to the point where it was at work. I was having problems with my Brave browser, so I was doing my lunch break watching YouTube on Chrome, and I like literally stopped and went and like logged into all my stuff on Brave because I couldn't take it. I was like, okay, I'm not waiting for Brave to. I'm gonna set this up now. Veritasium does put a lot of ads on though. We said does, yeah. Yeah, again, there's like this low, medium, high setting. I don't know what it actually means. Like, I would like to... Maybe they do quantify it in their menu, but I don't know. On Mousecast, I have it on low. Like, I feel like that's the best balance for me because I understand how annoying ads are, especially in something like Mousecast where it's long-form content. So I get it. But at the same time, if I'm being totally honest, I would really like to make some money from Mousecast. Not like I'm not gonna put it behind a Patreon paywall or something, but it is actually legitimate work. I love doing it, so like I'm not in it for the money, but I don't know. Like if it were up to me, like if it were totally up to me, and everybody wanted to pay. If I did my Mousecast polls like I do some weeks, and I was like, would you pay for Mousecast? And people overwhelmingly, 80% plus, said yes for like $1 a month or something. I would probably then budget that money into like a certain percent of it literally just goes into, oh, so I'm not showing you guys soldering, whoops. A certain percentage of it literally just goes into like giveaways and other promotional content. A certain percentage of it maybe goes into getting mice for like, I have a bunch of recent release stuff because I keep shopping on AliExpress, but like I avoid certain things if I don't get a crazy discount on it. Like if it wasn't for these discounts, I wouldn't be looking at this mouse right now. So as a way of like getting more content is my point. Especially since I spreadsheet all of my hobby expenses so that I know I'm being responsible and not being a burden to my family with having a million mice. I should reveal on Mousecast one day my spreadsheet because I sell stuff on eBay. The government sees that as reportable income, so I have to log. You know, if I sell a mouse on eBay for $60, they're like, ah, yes, you just made $60. Give us income tax based on $60, please. And that's like not true because I spent money on that mouse to sell it for $60, right? So you have to, I keep a spreadsheet of how much I spent on everything basically. And the long story short of it is, wait, do you guys want to guess? Does anyone want to guess how much I've spent on gaming mice in, I started the spreadsheet in summer 2023. So let's call it 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Knowing that I also do buy like pallet returns from warehouses and stuff. I'll give you a hint. It's more than $5,000. Yeah, the actual number, I want to say, I think I'm close to $13,000 spent. However, the real number that matters is how much I have returned. And that number is not very good right now. I think I'm at $1,500 in the red. So I usually try to stick at around right the break-even point. Sorry, in the red is negative, and then in the black is positive. Oh, that's a good one right there. Oh, these are all good ones. That one's nice right there. I'll do that one. So I'm at like $1,500 in the red right now, but I have so much stuff I need to sell. I have something like 4 or 5 WL mouse products I need to sell. A VGN King that I'm probably going to sell because Daz, I haven't received mine yet, but Daz says that it's garbage, so I'm going to have to sell mine probably. I've got so much stuff to sell. Like, I can't even, I'm actually kind of stressed out about it. I have an RCC1, an RE equipment RCC1 that I need to sell. Yeah, BeastX boards, ROM ER21. I'm going to sell my Luna. So once I liquidate all of that stuff, I'll probably be sitting, I probably have around 20 mice that I need to sell, and I'll probably average around like $50, $60 a mouse. Maybe more like 15 mice. I don't know. I think once I get through this batch of selling stuff, I'll probably be close to breaking even again. I also have $200 in rackets and cash back that I need to deposit. Yeah, I'll probably be pretty close. But I really need to get on it because I'm in not great shape right now. $8,000 was actually a really good guess, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, I really try not to buy anything unless I can basically resell it for the same price. But it's funny because for comparison, like how much have I made from Mousecast? And the answer is like $30. I've probably spent more money on Mousecast than I have made from it, and I have not spent money on Mousecast other than like, I don't know, I've driven to Daz's house before. Yeah, Daz lives Not terribly. He lives like an hour away. It's probably like 40-ish miles. My friend sent me a YouTube video. I'm not gonna watch it on stream. It's probably wildly inappropriate. It's a YouTube short. It's a guy going up. Oh man, I'm gonna post this in the meme chat. Oh, that's not the right thing. Can I share this? How do you share? Share, copy link. Okay, I'm posting this to Discord in the memes chat. I'm sorry, so much for this like being a productive review. Disassembly, memes. Sure, there you guys go. That was funny. I haven't even watched all of them, but I need to get back to soldering. Let's go ahead and test left mouse here. Round Leviathan, dude, it's a really good shape. I'm disappointed in the click feel, but it's a really good shape. Left mouse works. Right mouse works. Cool. So I need to make a note that this is in fact working. Sorry, those window sounds for me. It is in fact working with Omron Opticals. Oh, yeah, he's right. I need to apply to a job at his company too. No, he doesn't own the company. It's just where he works. The thing is, though, it's a little bit of a drive. It's like a 45-minute drive on a good day. That's a little far. I don't know. It's also like not the... It's like decently interesting work. It's energy industry, which is kind of cool. But... I don't know. I would also love to be working with my friend, though that like wouldn't be the main reason, of course. No. Oh, decisions. It's a company that it's technically a startup, though they're like publicly funded, and I think at this point they have like, I think my buddy said they have like 200 employees, so I wouldn't really call that a startup, but they are funded by venture capital though. So I don't know how I feel about that, because I've been laid off by a company that was funded the same way. And this company makes batteries for the grid. So we take it for granted, but when you flip on a light switch, the electricity used to power that light that you just turned on was generated just usually milliseconds prior to you turning it on. So like load balancing and grid infrastructure is load balancing with grid infrastructure is really, really important. You know, it's like they can't just instantly ramp up the generators every single time somebody starts a blender or plugs in their electric car. So I don't exactly know what they do for, like, I don't know exactly a lot about grid load balancing, but I guess this company's making lithium iron phosphate batteries. I think they're lithium iron phosphate batteries, maybe something different. And I don't know, it feels kind of, I don't know, 150 person company might be a little bit too big for me. We'll see. I did hear back from the startup, the 3D printing startup that I applied to, and they are in fact they did not say if they're moving forward with me or not. The HR lady simply said they have second interviews with a handful of other candidates. So they're going to get through those, and they're hoping to contact me on December 1st to see if I made it to the third round of interviewing. Third round, it's really The first quote-unquote interview was more just like a phone screening, like, are you a human? Though it was like a hour-and-a-half long conversation. And then the second round of interviewing was, I had a presentation, a technical presentation, where I just talked about something that I had worked on before, and it was pretty low stress. I mean, it was like stressful because it's like a job interview, so you like want to make a good first impression, but it was not stressful on that. It wasn't like I didn't take any sort of technical quiz. They asked me technical questions, but it was about something that I had designed, so it was a bunch of softball stuff by that measure. Do I just want to solder directly to these and say screw it? Maybe I need to get a JST 1.25 millimeter connector. Wow, I have some left. I got like a couple. Yeah, I've got like 15 or so remaining. Just noticed the M900 Mini Pro doesn't have the compartment to place the dongle. Yep, it does not. No dongle. Mine came with a bigger receiver, I think. Yeah, man, the Omron opticals in this feel pretty good. I wonder if the PCB is the same. I remember the M900 PCB. I remember being impressed with it. My dog is so good. Oh, you are such a good puppy. I'm sorry we didn't get to play today. It was all raining and muddy outside, and I didn't get home till after dark. Yeah, I'm sorry, girl. You deserve the best playtimes. She recently discovered a new game that she and I both really like, which is, so instead of just playing with the frisbees outside, she plays tug, and it's adorable. She will run up to me, frisbee in the mouth, instead of like dropping it for me to throw it again, she'll like poke my leg with it in her mouth, asking me to grab it so that I play tug. And how we play tug, it's not just like tug of war back and forth. It's I grab onto the disc, she grabs on, and then I spin her around till she's off the ground. We see how long she holds on, and then when she flies off, and she's kind of a, she's a 65-ish pound dog. When she flies off in one direction, I throw it for her, and she gets so amped up. When I fling her off of it, I think she takes that as like, oh no, you ripped it away from me, now I need to get it back. She is so cute. I was looking at your mouse and said I would remove the compartment to save some weight, but I don't have one. Yeah, you could remove the compartment on this, but it's not a whole lot. I'm going to keep the compartment personally. I think the V1, 1K hertz, 230 milliamp hour, they gave me an 8K dongle, but I can't use it. Oh, interesting. Huh. Time is it? 10 o'clock? Okay. So I can't spoil anything, though I did spoil it on the Discord. But we do have a guest on Mousecast, not this week. It was going to be next week, but he messaged today that he might have to reschedule. Strong likelihood he's going to have to reschedule, so I'm going to refrain from announcing anything formally. But I will simply say that it is a reviewer that you have all heard of. It'll be I think by subscriber count, I think it'll be the biggest reviewer we've had. It's not Boardsy level though. It's not 200,000 subscribers, which is still just nuts to think that he pulls that. Am I gonna reach that there? Yeah, I can probably reach that there. But if you check the Discord, I do believe I believe I have some, I know I posted in his Discord, the DM conversation. Oh, okay, Schwamper knows. Yeah, well, the thing is, I spoil things on, I spoil things on the live stream and on Discord. I don't spoil things on Mousecast. It's kind of unprofessional. Because I'll spoil them here because there's such small viewership, and I think you guys are the loyalists, so you guys deserve a little bit of an inside scoop. But same thing goes with the people who are active on the Discord. But I'm obviously not going to make a Twitter announcement until he has like a date locked in. That would just be rude. Make him feel like he has to commit to something that maybe he didn't sign up for. Yeah. Yeah, he's a really nice guy though. I didn't realize this. He's multilingual. So I know he's from Switzerland, right? And I looked it up and I was like, what language do they speak in Switzerland? Because it's like very famously the neutral state that's like in the middle of France, Italy, Germany. Apparently, according to AI Overview, they have like 4 official languages, which are German, French, Italian, and not Romanian, Romana or something? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what Romana is. But I always offer the guests that I can send my list of interview questions ahead of time. I actually don't really like doing it because it means I have to come up with the interview questions ahead of time. And I usually like finish the questions the day of. I don't know, because it gets more on the mind. So then you start thinking about it more and you think of more questions. So, but he said because, English isn't his first language. And I'm like, brother, your reviews are in flawless English. Are you kidding me? So we'll get more into that on Mousecast. JQ is a very nice guy. Yeah. I didn't realize, so he and Stubby have like a Discord together. I don't know how close they are, but I guess close enough to have a Discord together. But I don't really know a lot about Stubby. I don't really watch any of his stuff. I thought, wasn't he controversial for something at one point? I forget. I don't know. But I mean, Stubby, I do know Stubby was the one who did like the weekly mouse news type things. And he even did, I saw he had content on the Pulsar acquisition of Lethal Gaming Gear. So Mousecast was, I don't want to say inspired by him because I started Mousecast before I knew he did the thing. But at least like the viewership count, it helped set realistic expectations of, here's a channel with, I don't know how many subscribers Stubby has, 10,000 probably. And he did short form news type stuff and it got like 2K views. So I was like, okay, if I can get I remember the very first Mousecast, I was like, if I can get 50 views, that's pretty good. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit disappointed that it seems like Mousecast has really tapered off in viewership. It seems like our floor is around 300 and our height is around like 500-600. I guess I should really graph it and make a more data-driven opinion rather than just saying, why hasn't it grown more? Because it definitely has. But I don't know. The poor Christmas stream with me and Daz, which still remains to be like one of my favorite ones of all time, is still like the least viewed at like 200 views. But that's a good one. Daz and I were in person. It was good. Daz is tall. Well, I guess I'm pretty tall too. But yeah, Daz is like 6 foot and he works out. He ain't no Napoleon Dynamite body shape. I hope we didn't insult him with that Discord post, but it was so funny. And then they followed it up with I look like Quentin Tarantino. That's okay. You gotta, if there's something in your life that you can't change, like particularly physical appearance, I find you just gotta own it. It's who you are. So like I watched James Pumphrey from Donut Media, if you guys watch that YouTube channel. They do like car stuff. And James Pumphrey did like a little bit of acting. He was in an episode of How I Met Your Mother too, just as like an extra. He did have like 1 or 2 voice lines, but that was it. And I remember him saying, it takes a few auditions until you realize you're getting selected for, you fit a certain aesthetic, a certain character, and that's just what you keep getting called back for. And he was like, I was always like the dumb partier or the dumb kind of oaf kid. And he was like, at first he was really insulted by that. And then he had to play a role where like he and some brother in some small film, a guy played his brother, and then he kind of like Step Brothers kind of a thing. But James was the reasonable character, and his brother's character was the goofy, silly, dumb one. And James was like, I hated playing the reasonable character. It sucks. It's not as much fun. So from that point on, he was like, okay, this is kind of who I am, and it's more fun this way anyway. Yeah, Speed. Okay, you know about him. This is old stuff. This is, I think, what I'm referencing specifically is him and Josh from the Donut Media podcast talking about, like, acting gigs. Dude, his workout video was inspiring. He's still at Donut. I thought he left a channel called Speed with 3 E's. Yeah, quality videos. Donut kind of fell off. I think that's the thing. I still think they're quality videos. They're a little bit overproduced because the for the first little bit, it didn't feel like the hosts, the production was like bigger than the hosts after they lost their real talented hosts. I don't know. I'm not a doomer about Donut. I know a lot of people, other people are. I'm not gonna lie and say like I am more excited for a Big Time or a Speed video than a Donut video. But that's also not to say that, like, I'm not gonna say, oh, Donut's done, you know, Donut's dead. It's not dead. They had to move on, and that's a tough call. I mean, that's a thing with acting. People are there for the personalities, and these businesses know it. That's why actors and hosts are under contract, you know, so that they don't. Yeah, contracts and are there for a reason. If you got a season of a show to shoot, you don't want your lead actor, your lead personality leaving midway through. And it's not like a contract's some evil thing, though I guess they could be. But that's just like inherently how the business must function. Because their product is dependent on a personality. Okay, that looks pretty good. I might fulcrum bend this slightly, actually away. Yeah, I'll try away at first, which is pretty wild, but let's try it. That's crazy that you guys know about Speed and Veritasium and Big Time. Yeah. I really like that this is so lame, at Big Time, Jeremiah's dog Chewy is so adorable, and they have him in videos. Dude, what a good dog. Nova would not be that good, just like being around people all the time. Yeah, he has that dog trained really well. He's off leash and just with people. That's a really good dog. And then Donut on their off-roading thing with, oh, what's the name? Justin, and what's the tall blonde, the new blonde guy's name? Son of a gun. Not Alex. Whatever. They got Natchez, which is that mutt that he found on the side of the road, the like puppy, and he took care of him, and it's like really wholesome, and now he's growing up too. Natchez is adorable. They just put out a video today about some off-roading build, and I was like, yeah, okay. I scrubbed through, saw some of Natchez, and then I was like, okay, I've had my fill. Cody's Lab? That's a throwback. No, I don't think I have. This isn't Cody, like Whistling Diesel Cody, is it? I don't think he would have a channel called Lab, would he? Apparently he was like prosecuted or something. Cody was Whistling Diesel. That was in the news recently. I don't know. It also might just be a bit by him. I don't know. That's kind of how he is. Which is really funny how like his whole channel is like him destroying expensive stuff and being oblivious to it and like yelling at his workers. But then apparently he's like actually a decent human being. It's just, that's not at all what he puts on for the camera. Kind of like Davey 504, the bass player, who acts like really sarcastic. And it's funny in some of the, like, he tries to not break character, but when he does, it's good. He's the what's up slappers. Today we're gonna do more meme reactions. Bass. Go in the hole. Is that in, really? I guess that is in. There's a point in time where I was obsessed with cars. I watched everything from Donut. Yeah, dude, same. Yep. Yeah, Up to Speed with James. Dude, yeah, that was an insta-click every time. Their bumper-to-bumper series I was never a big fan of. But sure. Okay, I made these, I think, a wee bit too stiff. They do feel decent, which is good. Yep, just a wee bit too stiff. Let's try opening that up and trying that again. Let's go to my... Where's my pry tool? I always, like, set the pry tool down. I'm like, where'd it go? And it's, like, probably right in front of my stupid face right now. Did they change the coating on the V2? Yeah, so the V2 coating, it's less textured. Which one's better? I would say the V2 feels more rubbery. The V1, I know this is a mini, but the V1's the same. The V1 is... Yeah, the V2 is smoother, like it feels like it has a clear coat layer on top of the already decent coating. But they're both very good coatings, V1 and V2. I don't think that should be one of the major selling points. I think your other selling points are... Man, I cannot find where I put that my plastic pry tool. Well, I have another one here, so I guess I'll use this one. The larger skates, the Nordic MCU, the lower weight, especially the lower weight. Those are the real advantages. Mine feels chalky. Yeah, the M900 V2 feels smoother and more rubbery. Yeah, this M900 is actually a really nice coating. Son of a gun. There we go. The clips in here are pretty firm. And I think we're going to knock off this here hold down nub where my thumb is. I should check my stream bot and see who's here. Because I know Secco, it will like lurk the entire time while he's playing while he's gaming. And then when I am like, oh, I'm ending the stream, goodbye, then Secco will be like, hey, I was here. Thanks, bye. Okay. Let's check. Let's check who's here. Viewers. Oh, it's just me and Seawash. That's it. Just you and me, Seawash. Oh, sorry, doggy. I think I bumped her toes. This says, wait, this says there's 12 people watching. But I only see me and Seawash. I don't know. Whatever. Let's tune these clicks a little bit. Just a hair. Just an absolute hair. Not too much. I tell you, I should do a Bob Ross stream. Bob Ross mods mice. I'll need to get like a much better microphone though, so I can talk real smoothly into the microphone, like ASMR mouse modding tutorial. You know who's another good mouse reviewer? Bad Seed Tech. Without like needing to be a super cracked gamer or whatever, he just has like such quality videos. Again, he does like tech in general though, but he has such his aura, dude, is unreal. Bad Seed Tech's aura, dude. he's like such a straight shooter in his videos. Like his straightforward opinion is almost laid on a little bit aggressively, but in a way that's aggressive, not like a like angry, but in a like, here's my opinion, this is my opinion, take it or leave it, this is what I thought about the product. I don't know, it's like a very, without like, I don't know, you can tell he really cares about people not getting crap products. When something's really good, he'll be like, this is a really good product, this is the best one I've tried. He's very straightforward with it, which I appreciate. And then of course it's like very well produced too. I mean, I don't know if it's his full-time job. He has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, right? I thought. Betsy text reviews are good when he says his opinion. It's like 99% his heart. There you go. Thank you. He very much speaks from his heart. Yeah. Yeah. I aspire to be that way. I don't know. Me speaking from my heart ends up just me rambling. Yeah, I don't want to script things. So going back to that Pulsar contact that I got, should I see if they replied back? I have an eBay notification. Nope. I did get a response back. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read it first in my head. Wow. Okay. Okay, interesting. It is... So I asked, I was like, does this have to be a highly produced video? Like, is there like a time duration you guys are looking for? Like, do you want this to be concise? Because that's not what I do. But if that's what you want on an Amazon product page, I get it. But I'm not your guy if that's the case. And this guy's reply was pretty based. Regarding the format of the video, it is free as per your convenience. That means we're gonna do a freaking disassembly live stream and that's it. He simply says, we would just love to have you test the product and give your feedback upon using/reviewing it. And then he lists a certain Crazy Light mouse. One of the Crazy Light products that I'm not too interested in, I am going to ask him for a different Crazy Light product. And they probably have, I probably can't ask for multiple. I can probably only ask for one at a time. A lot of companies do that when reaching out to new reviewers for the first time. But yes, there you guys go. I did leak something on this live stream here. For again, the very loyal viewers, plus Seko, the loyal listener, if he's here. I hope I'm saying his name right. Soul Out Here's Diamond Lobby's reviews about a year ago was awful to watch. He had a lot more normie approach. Now he seems to be in the know. Yeah. What are they going to send? What are they going to send? Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's a Crazy Light that I'm not that interested in. Yeah. I don't know. I guess, if I'm being honest, I'm probably more interested... Oh, those feel good. Beautifully tensioned phalanges. Good job, buddy. Although my right mouse is too loose. My left mouse is perfect. My right mouse is too loose. Gosh, dang it. Urgh. Bro, these clips are insane though in this Delux mouse. Like, if you just manhandle it, you'll probably crack the base in half. You really have to go for the clips. If I'm being honest, I've already had 2 X2 Crazy Lights that I've just like bought and resold. One of them was like Boardsy, RIP Boardsy, sorry. It's a good product. It's just the Mchos L7 is better, but for a third the price. So like, sorry. So I actually don't really want an X2 Crazy Light. An X3 Crazy Light is at least a little bit of interest to me. but I'm gonna ask for an X2H crazy light, or if they say no to that, an X-Lite V3, V4 crazy light, whatever you want to call it. Would you get the X28 or X2? Or X2 size 2 is interesting, but I have a Siberia EX. I'd probably do X2H. What would you do to fix a strip screw post on the corner of a mouse? I have this issue with one of my mice. I'm trying to find a way to fix it. Good question. So one trick is get a bigger screw so that you like re-tap the threads. Depending on the post, though, you don't want to just blow open the post totally. Another trick you can do is you can put some glue on the post. If you still have all the pieces there, put some glue, super glue on the post, rubber band it so it cinches it tight, leave the rubber band on there, let it dry, then pull the rubber band off, which you might have to like chisel it off or just leave it on. And then you've kind of, you know, because it's all stripped and it's all open like this. So by gluing it or rubber banding it, you're bringing it back tight again so you can put the screw back in. Those are a couple tricks. Yeah, unfortunately, it's usually not the easiest fix, so I hope it's just a little bit of a lesson learned in like not over tightening screws. I've done it before. I'm not saying that as a privileged take. I get it, but yeah, just always something to watch out for is screw tightness. Is this why you wanted the VGNY2 and why you messaged me on eBay? Might pull a ROM on the dongle. Oh wait, who? Pulsar? We're talking about the lack of Nordic 54 in the Leviathan, right? That the mouse has it, but the dongle doesn't. Friggin' ROM. They even have this big fancy-ass dongle. Dude, the Leviathan V4 is legitimately really good. Like, my only beef with it is how stiff middle mouse is. Otherwise, it's like a damn near flawless mouse. Like, A-tier skates, A-tier build quality, S-tier aesthetics, if that matters to you. Damn, I'm like really trying hard to get this in. There we go. All right. Let's see how that feels. Did I finally get it back together? Huh, why does that feel kind of crunchy? Let's try putting some screws in this. I'm a little disappointed. I feel like I just reassembled it and now the left mouse feels worse even though I didn't touch that one. I only touched right mouse. Darmo Shark. If the pad is completely toasted, fix it. Interested in the Y2 shape. Yeah, I mean, buddy, if I'm listing it, that means... If you know some trick that I don't, then maybe you can revive it. Again, in the description, I had the two issues were the left mouse pad being toasted. I don't remember if it was both contacts. I think it was the middle pin. Because Omron opticals don't work in it. It has the pins for opticals, but it doesn't work. So yeah, it's not that simple, unfortunately. Yeah, these feel a little weird, but that's okay. I'm good with that. Yeah, that's okay. Right? Yeah, those are nice and crisp. The other issue with the Y2 that I had listed was the side button. One of them, yeah, I had to look at the photos. One of the side buttons is like the micro switch is, there's no tactility to it. Like the plunger just sits flush against the body of the switch. So that definitely needs to be replaced. I don't know, I could try opening up and seeing if it's fixable, but I feel like that's a wasted effort. I probably should just buy one. ATK new Dex clone, by the way. Yeah, I saw that. It's called the or Y9, ATK Y9. Yeah, I added it to the Mousecast doc. Yeah, if you guys ever want to in Discord, I get added all the time, like at manphalanges for like shape recommendations and stuff. And if I'm being totally honest, I ignore, like, I don't know, when I get the ping, if I see it's like not that important, then I'll be like, okay, I'll answer that later, and then I forget to answer it. But Mousecast stuff, I do try to, as soon as I get the notification, I add it to my doc, because otherwise I'll forget. So, oh wait, we're supposed to do wait. My bad. Here we go. I didn't even get a picture of the inside after it being modded. Oh well. Oh, I should though. Nah, I'm not gonna. Nah. I'm gonna say this is pretty light here. This is quite light. And I moved the weight balancing a little bit farther forward, which I like. So with skates, we were at 50 grams before even. I'm gonna say we're probably gonna be at like 46.69. Close. There we go. Put that on there. Oh, really close. All right. What's your favorite Huano switch? Good question. Maybe, wait, I should answer Soul out. Maybe scratching off more of the trace and running a wire to it would be the only option. Tried it. A lot of work for a cheaper mouse though, so I get it. Cheapier mouse, yeah. Yeah, if you want to just try the shape, then this is good for that. I mean, then if you know, if you don't think you can fix it, you can maybe just resell like I am. I don't know. I've had that Y2 listed for a long time. And I think it has some watchers, but I don't think I've ever gotten any offers on it. So that just goes to show what the market is for as is VGN Y2 mice on eBay. Oh, I should paint this dongle too while I'm at it. What did I do with the other skate? Am I oh, there it is. Let's see, ATK, what's my favorite Huano switch? That's a really good question. So I do rather like the Huano white, transparent shell white dots. So first of all, Huano is the switch I have the most of, just because they're on AliExpress. This entire bin here is Huanos. Let's not do a replay of that other stream from the other night where the kale box exploded. Oh man, somebody clip it. These guys, these are one of my favorites. Really, all of Huano's transparent lineup feels pretty similar. Transparent and blue shell pink dots tend to be a little bit harsher in tactility, a little bit louder compared to the green shell white dots and white shell white dots. I like the white shell white dots because they are pretty inexpensive on AliExpress and they feel pretty much identical to the 100 million greens. Then I have some funky colored ones here, like these ones here, blue and pink, and then these pink on pink. I forget what these are. I don't have any other purple ones, and then the yellow ones I think are the highest rated. I think those are the 120 million. I don't know, they feel fine. Then there's all these other Huanos that are also solid options. So like all the black shells, these all feel pretty similar. Again, I don't really know. I really wish there was a spec sheet. I know the black shell pink dots are kind of heavy. Black shell green dots are popular for middle mouse buttons. They're a little bit louder, a little bit firmer. I actually like these in some mice. Zowie uses a lot of black shell blue dots and black shell red dots in their mice. So if you kind of like the hollow, the kind of thockiness of Zowie mice, that's where they get these from. And then the most underrated Huano switch is by far blue shell white dots. These have just a really, really good balance of collapse, but also spring back after you've hit the actuation. These are really good. The Daryu A950 wing came with these, even though they definitely had the budget for, you know, a more premium quote-unquote switch, because I think these are only rated at 10 or 20 million clicks. But yeah, Switch Life ratings don't mean anything. They really don't. Like, you have to friggin' to hit like 100 million clicks. You you have to be, oh my gosh, do the math on it. I don't know, maybe there's some program you guys could run on your computer for like 24 hours to see how many times you click your mouse. 100 million Switch life is gonna get you like a decade of gaming. So yeah, they seem to fail from all sorts of other reasons before hitting that, from my experience. Very famously, all the Omrons that Logitech used were like 20, then they switched to a 50 million rating, and they all friggin' double clicked like mad. Finally got my $7 alley credit from Prizeland, only took 3 months. Oh man, I need to check my Prizeland stuff too. Thanks for the reminder. You could try JQ method to get a screw holes on the mouse gates with a hole puncher. Yeah, I've done that before. I do have a hole puncher. I could do it for you guys live right now. I don't think my dear you, I don't think this came with any extra skates. Yeah, here's a hole punch. Do I have a junk skate that I could do? I don't know what this is from. I think this is from an Infic INX right here. We'll do one live. And you want to do it in the way such that it is... There we go. Oh wait, I need this picture for Reddit first. Only Switch that ever went bad on me was Kale GM 8.0. Really impressive. The GM 8.0s were... Yeah, those were actually a pretty decent Switch, though. I don't know, I revisited them the other day, and I was like, oh dang, these are like wildly inconsistent in tactility. So... Yeah, 46.7 grams on a mouse this big, basically a Death Adder size mouse. This is... Sorry. This is quite good. So let's play around with that hole punch thing here. So you'll want to do the hole punch such that... Sorry, I don't know like how to fix the focus, guys. It's my phone. Like, I could switch it to manual mode, but then I'm going to have to switch it back. Yeah, so you want to make sure that... Come on. Yeah, you'll want to orient it this way, facing up. And then let's try... There we go. Very clean round hole. Yep. And then one trick, if you do have an issue with the hole not rounding out perfectly, you can get a chamfer bit. Oh man, I goobered this one. Oh, because I used this one on skates already. You get a chamfer bit. And you smooth out the hole that way. Now, unfortunately, this chamfer bit is too small. This is only a 1/4 inch one, but I have bigger ones. I had bigger ones somewhere, and I don't know what I did with them. Anyway, yeah, chamfer bits. Which I really should grab them, because that would be a good mod for me to do one day. And when you have holes punched out like this, it is actually quite nice. You don't really feel them. The ROM MH01 comes stock with hole punched skates like that. They're not the ones installed. It comes installed. I'm grabbing it now. It comes installed with a solid skate, but here's the hole punch skate that it comes with. So I did not do these holes here. See how nicely rounded they are? I did not do those holes, but I guess look at all the fuzzies in there. Man, dude, this is another amazing shape. MH01. Yeah, that's a really good shape. And their encoder that they used in this is like, mine is like friggin' S tier goated. It is like 9 out of 10 tactility while still being quiet and smooth. Bruh. The click feel's not the best though. They use like a hot swap thing and they feel kind of hollow and cheap. I also realized I'm on top chat. I wonder if I go to all chat if there's going to be more messages. Hole punching skates is one 200 IQ move, but I use dot skates. That works too. Mine on the MH Wildly loud. Interesting. Yeah, I got the QC lottery. What diameter do you use? I don't know what diameter this is. 1/4 inch, 6mm. This is like a really cheap hole punch, though. I think I liberated from work. It's a Swingline brand, which is the name brand. Hole punching skates, what a smart idea, holy. Yeah, there you go. You can make your own dot skates out of it, too. Yeah. Alright. Well, I think I should probably end this live stream about here. Let me know if you guys have any questions as I wrap up here about the Delux M900 V2. Oh, you know what? Before I do, though, I'll trash that. I'll do this, and I'll paint the dongle real quick. I'll paint the dongle. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, we'll do this one, sure. No, I'll just write on it, actually. I do have a red paint pen. I could try this guy here. Sure, we can get a close-up of this. Why not? Don't think it's that interesting, but sure. Could I even, like, color on this? How's the red show up? Oh yeah, the red shows up okay. Right, I'll color on this. Because it's a red mouse, so we use a red paint pen. Paint marker. It's funny, I actually use red paint markers like this at my job all the time. It's really useful for writing on things that are really dirty. Yeah, I don't know if that paint's gonna dry like that though. We'll see. It might just come right off of the metal. The hard part is figuring out where the hole should go. I've punched holes in my Unusual Waste Sports. Oh, it's not that difficult. You want to know a trick? Here, I'll show you a trick for punching holes, for locating them. So you can use your fingernail or something hard like this toothbrush with a rounded edge, and you're going to try to feel around for where the screw holes are. So I can tell there's one right there. There's one right there. There's something right here. There's definitely one right here. And then, can we see this deformation here? Let me just push into them here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. About to blow your mind. So you can go by feel. But if this focuses... Yeah, you can see the divots that I made, right? Yep. So then all you have to do from there is you just take like a knife or something. You just poke a teeny tiny hole on the middle of that divot, and that tells you where your center of your punches needs to go. I know what I used to do before I had a hole punch is I would take a hobby knife like this. I would pierce it, and then I'd go zoop, zoop. You know, you kind of go back and forth, creating a circular hole with the knife. It leaves jagged edges. You can then clean it up with a chamfer bit like I showed off here. One of these guys. But yeah, hole punching is definitely an option. I could hole punch this one. If I disassemble this mouse again, maybe I'll switch to hole punches then. But the click feels pretty good. I tested left mouse and right mouse. They both function. Scroll wheel feels good. Side buttons feel good. Yeah, this is a good mouse. And did this dry? Dry-ish. Sure. So then let's go ahead and write M900 on top of that red, just in case it does want to come off. I got these black pens from AliExpress that are actually pretty decent right here. I love that like my stream, I use the toothbrush. I love that. So these black pens, they're like a fine tip on one end and like an ultra fine tip on the other end. And I got like a I forget. I think I needed to get to the next coupon level. I just needed to add some stuff, and it was like a 5-pack for like, you know, $1.50 or something crazy like that. M900 V2. Rate my handwriting. What tier is my handwriting? Okay. Can we be done, guys? Can I go to bed? What's the click latency on the M900 V2 Pro? No idea. I'm not a real reviewer. I'm a fake reviewer who was the guy on the stream the other day who has a mental disability where he bought a mouse and within 10 minutes he disassembled it and modded it. Wait, who was that? Oh my gosh, was that Schwamper? Oh my gosh, that was so funny. How's the coding on Delux M900 Mini Red versus comparison to this? Oh, go back in this Senior Haunter. I actually discussed this, I think, twice. The TLDR, it feels slightly thicker on the metallic copy that I have versus the Mini, but they're both very good. They're both very good. You couldn't go wrong with either one. Quick latency, I haven't tried. The hard part, I've done the same. That's okay. This is a safe space to be to be mouse modding Neanderthals. The hard part is figuring out where the holes are go. Okay, I think we're done here. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and saying things in chat. Really appreciate you all. Senor Hontor, Reken, Fearless. I don't know who else is here. Hanzolo, Wagwar. No, I don't know. Soul Out, Seawash, Seko, Schwamper, Piger, Neon. Yeah, Seawash is still here. Cool. Okay. Yep, adios. See you next stream. Yep, see you guys. As a small teaser, the next stream, I don't know when it will be. It might be Mousecast, but I do want to battery mod this guy. I've had this for a really long time, and it's actually a decent mouse. The VT9 Gen 2 from Rapupu. Okay, y'all. Have a great rest of your evening, morning, wherever you are. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.